Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we'll be taking a look at 5 powerful habits that can change your life. And the source material we'll be diving deep on is 5 powerful habits to transform your life.
It's going to be interesting because what's fascinating about this source is that these habits aren't just some feel good fluff, but are actually backed by science.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So we'll be looking at the research and psychology behind each one.
absolutely.
Okay, let's jump into the first habit, which is rise and shine.
Okay.
This one is all about creating a beneficial morning routine by waking up earlier than you normally would.
Right.
The source recommends waking up 30 minutes to an hour earlier.
Uh huh.
I have to admit, the snooze button is my best friend,
Yeah.
but I'm really interested to hear what the science says about the benefits of waking up early.
Well, research has shown that our cortisol levels, which is that hormone that's linked to stress and alertness, actually peaks in the morning. So by waking up earlier, you're basically working with your body's natural rhythm and taking advantage of that peak focus and energy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And studies have even shown that early risers tend to be more proactive and successful in achieving their goals.
Now, hold on a second. Are you saying that people who aren't morning people are doomed?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it's not that simple, black and white.
Right.
There are these things called chronotypes,
Okay.
which basically just means our internal clocks are wired differently.
Mhm.
Some people are naturally early birds, while others are night owls.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The key here is to find a routine that works for you,
Right.
whether that means like shifting your wake up time gradually or just making the most of those peak energy times that you have throughout the day.
So it's more about just finding your own rhythm and
Exactly.
optimizing your peak energy times.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Now, the source suggests using that extra morning time for things like reading, meditating exercise, or goal setting.
Right.
It sounds great in theory, like a power hour for personal growth, but how do we make sure we stick to it?
Well, consistency is key. It takes time to form a new habit.
Right.
So starting small and gradually building up is more sustainable than trying to change everything overnight.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, it can help if you have a clear why behind your routine.
Mm,
Are you trying to reduce stress? Are you aiming to be more productive? Having a purpose behind waking up earlier can make a big difference.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's move on to habit number 2, which is never stop learning.
Okay.
This is about cultivating a mindset of continuous growth and exploration.
I like that one.
Yeah, I'm always looking for new things to learn, but it can get overwhelming knowing where to even start.
Absolutely. And, the beauty of this habit is that it doesn't have to be about, getting another degree or
Mhm.
mastering some complex skill.
Okay.
The source emphasizes making small, consistent steps.
Mhm.
And I really agree with that.
Right.
Think about bite-sized learning moments that can fit into your day,
Mhm.
like reading a chapter of a book or listening to a podcast,
That's us.
or even just learning a new word each day.
Oh, I love that idea. Small, manageable steps.
Yeah.
But isn't there a risk of spreading ourselves too thin with this approach?
Oh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's definitely not about becoming a jack of all trades, but a master of none.
Right.
It's more about nurturing a love of learning and staying curious.
Mm.
Think of it like building a foundation of knowledge.
Okay.
Sometimes those little bits of information will spark a deeper interest that you can then explore further.
Right.
And sometimes it's just about expanding your horizons and keeping your mind engaged.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's more about nurturing our curiosity and letting it guide us. Not about knowing everything, but staying open to learning new things throughout life.
Exactly.
Let's move on to habit number 3, which is the power of gratitude.
Okay.
This one's all about cultivating a positive mindset by focusing on what we're thankful for. And I know what you might be thinking, just another self-help cliche,
Right.
but trust me, there's real science behind this one.
Yeah, you're totally right. Gratitude is more than just like a fleeting good feeling.
Okay.
It's actually a powerful tool for rewiring our brains towards being more positive and resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can lead to physical changes in the brain.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it can strengthen the neural pathways that are associated with happiness and well-being.
Hold on. Are you telling me that just thinking about things I'm grateful for can change my brain?
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
That's incredible.
It is.
Now, the source suggests a simple practice of writing down 3 good things each day.
Yeah,
Is that all it takes?
it might sound too simple, but it's really effective. By making time to acknowledge the good things in our lives, no matter how small,
Yeah.
we're training our brains to focus on the positive.
Okay.
It's like we're building a muscle for feeling grateful. And over time, this can lead to us seeing the world through a more optimistic lens.
So it's not about pretending everything is perfect,
No, not at all.
but more about actively seeking out and recognizing the good things.
Exactly. And it can have a real impact on our mental and physical health.
That is really fascinating.
Yeah.
This idea of rewiring our brains is amazing.
Yeah. And the more we practice it, the easier it becomes.
Hmm.
It creates a positive feedback loop where we start to notice even more to be grateful for, which makes those pathways in our brain even stronger.
So it's really a powerful habit.
It really is.
Okay, let's change gears a bit and talk about something more concrete.
Okay.
Habit number 4 is setting smart goals.
Right.
This is about ditching vague wishes and creating a solid plan to achieve what we want in life.
I love that one.
I think we've all been there setting these vague goals like, I want to be healthier or I want to be more successful, but without a good plan, they just fizzle out.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I'm definitely guilty of it.
Yeah.
Now, the SMART goals framework is about making sure our goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound.
That's a great framework.
Yeah, it's like turning a wishy-washy dream into a laser-focused target. But is this just another productivity hack, or is there something deeper?
Well, it's definitely a great tool for productivity,
Right.
but it goes a bit beyond that.
Okay.
It's about understanding our own motivations and giving ourselves the tools to succeed. Each part of SMART has an important role to play.
Okay.
Specific makes us define exactly what we want.
Mhm.
Measurable helps us see our progress.
Right.
Achievable, make sure we're not setting ourselves up for failure.
Yeah.
Realistic takes into account our limits. And time-bound makes it feel urgent.
So it's about taking a vague idea and creating a blueprint.
Exactly.
Now, do you have any personal examples of a SMART goal that worked for you?
You know, I've always wanted to learn Italian,
Okay.
but I always put it off.
Yeah.
It just felt like such a huge, daunting task.
Right.
So I finally sat down and made a SMART goal
Okay.
to be able to hold a basic conversation in Italian within 6 months
Okay.
by going to classes twice a week and practicing with a language partner for 30 minutes each day.
Wow. So you really laid it all out.
I did.
And that helped.
Yeah, having that specific, measurable, and time-bound plan really made a difference.
That's fantastic. It just shows how we can apply this framework to any area of our lives.
For sure.
Okay, so let's move on to the last habit for this deep dive, which is taking care of both our physical and mental health.
Right.
This one's about recognizing how connected our well-being is and understanding that our minds and bodies go hand in hand.
Absolutely. It's about embracing this holistic approach to wellness, recognizing that all aspects of ourselves are connected.
Right.
Our physical health impacts our mental health and vice versa.
Yeah.
It's not just about, going to the gym or eating healthy, but about nurturing every part of ourselves.
I think a lot of people struggle with finding that balance between pushing themselves and resting.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough.
Now, our source highlights some key areas to focus on, like sleep, nutrition, exercise, and finding ways to de-stress.
Right.
Finding that sweet spot seems crucial to achieving true well-being.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's about listening to our bodies and minds.
Right.
And giving ourselves compassion and care.
Yeah.
Sometimes self-care can be as simple as just taking a few deep breaths or going for a walk outside or just spending time with people we love.
That's true.
It's about being kind to ourselves in our daily routines.
And that's what this whole deep dive is about, right? It's about giving ourselves the power to make small changes.
Small but powerful.
Yeah, that have a big impact on our well-being.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Thanks.
Now, before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. What are some ways you prioritize your own physical and mental health? Do you have any tips or tricks for finding that balance?
Let me think about that for a second.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's about tuning in to what my body and mind need at any given moment. Like some days that might mean like a tough workout.
Yeah.
But then other days it might be something gentler, like yoga, or even just going for a walk out in nature. It really just depends. But I find that if I'm present and paying attention to how I'm feeling, it really helps me make choices that benefit me.
Oh, I love that it's so easy to get stuck in the same routine.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But sometimes the best thing we can do is just listen to our bodies.
Absolutely.
It's a good reminder that self-care isn't selfish.
It's not at all.
It's important.
Yeah, for sure. When we take care of ourselves, we're able to be our best selves for other people too.
That's a great point. It's like we need to fill our own cup first so we can pour into others.
Exactly.
So to recap, we've covered 5 really powerful habits: rising and shining, never stop learning, cultivating gratitude, setting smart goals, and taking care of our minds and bodies.
Yeah, it's a pretty well-rounded approach to personal growth,
It is.
covering everything from mindset to action.
And it really shows how true transformation happens when we look at every aspect of ourselves:
It does.
physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual.
It's really not about reaching some kind of perfect state, but more about embracing the journey of growth and self-discovery.
No, I think a lot of people get discouraged because they feel like they need to change everything at once.
Oh, yeah, I hear that a lot.
But these habits are great because we can do them gradually.
Right. It's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. So do you think it's best to choose one habit and focus on that?
I think that's a great way to start.
Okay.
Pick the one that really speaks to you and make it a regular part of your life.
Uh-huh.
Once you feel like you've got that one down, you can move on to another one.
So we build up slowly.
Yeah, like we're building a strong foundation brick by brick.
Yeah, I love that. And over time, all those small changes can have a big impact.
They really can.
So as you've been listening to this deep dive, is there one habit in particular that you're drawn to? One that you think could make a real difference in your life?
Well,
Yeah. It's all about taking those small steps, those little changes that can really add up over time. Speaking of big changes, though, as we've been going through this deep dive, is there like one habit that's really stood out to you? One that you think could be like a game changer for you?
it's been really interesting talking about all these habits with you. They're definitely a good framework for growth. What I find really fascinating is that these habits aren't just about us as individuals.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, they can actually have like a ripple effect on the whole world around us.
Oh, wow. That's a cool way to think about it. I never thought of it that way before. How do you see these habits impacting the world?
Well, when we're constantly learning, we become more open-minded, right? More open to new ideas and different perspectives.
Uh-huh.
And when we practice gratitude, we naturally start putting out more positivity and kindness.
Yeah.
And when we set smart goals and take care of ourselves, we can be our best selves,
Yeah.
in our relationships, our communities, even our work.
So it's like this chain reaction of good energy.
Exactly.
We start with ourselves and then it spreads outward to everyone around us.
Right. And it's pretty inspiring when you think about the impact we can have if we all practice these habits.
Yeah, it really is. It's not just about improving ourselves, but about making a positive difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with one last thought.
Okay.
Remember that source we've been exploring, 5 powerful habits to transform your life.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great place to start, but the real journey begins when you take all this and apply it to your own life.
It's true. The real magic happens when you personalize these habits and make them your own.
Uh-huh.
So experiment, adapt, and be patient because change takes time.
Yeah. And the results are worth it.
They really are.
And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Connect with people, find resources that resonate with you, and celebrate all your wins.
Every little victory is a step forward.
Well said. It's been great diving deep with you today.
Likewise, I'm really excited to see what positive changes you make.
That's great. And to everyone listening, until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep diving deep with us.